All right, let's get right into it. Apple's awe-dropping event just happened, and wow, they've seriously shaken things up for the 2025 iPhone lineup. So we're going to break down everything, and I mean everything you need to know about the new iPhone 17 series. The goal here? To help you figure out which one, if any, has your name on it. And you know, bold might just be an understatement here. This quote? It absolutely nails the vibe from the announcement. I mean, we are talking about the biggest redesign we've seen since way back in 2017. And there's a brand new model in the mix that could change the game completely. So, let's meet the contenders in this all-new lineup. This year, Apple's giving us 4 very distinct models. We've got the standard iPhone 17, a totally new and super interesting iPhone Air, the heavy-hitting iPhone 17 Pro, and of course the top-of-the-line iPhone 17 Pro Max.
Okay, let's start with the one that had everyone talking. The biggest surprise, hands down, was the iPhone Air. And listen, this is not just another model they've added to the list. It feels more like a statement piece, right? A complete rethink of what a high-end phone can be. And really, it all boils down to one absolutely incredible number.
Just look at that. 5.6 millimeters. Let that sink in for a second. That makes the iPhone Air the thinnest smartphone Apple has ever made. It is a wild feat of engineering, for sure, but the really crazy part? It's what they somehow managed to cram inside that impossibly thin body. So you're probably thinking, okay, it's thin, but what did they sacrifice? And the answer is, surprisingly, not much. This thing is crafted from lightweight titanium, it's got a beautiful 6.5-inch ProMotion display, yep, 120 Hz, and get this, it's running on the A19 Pro chip. That's the Pro chip, the same one you find in the top models. You also get next-gen Wi-Fi 7 and a battery that'll still give you up to 27 hours of video playback. This thin phone packs some serious heavy-hitting power. All right, moving on from the Air, let's talk about the new mainstream powerhouse, the iPhone 17. And Apple's calling it that for a really good reason. This is the model that takes a bunch of features that used to be exclusive to the Pro models and brings them down to a price point that's way more accessible for a lot of people. So what are the key upgrades here? Well, the headline news, the one everyone's been waiting for, is that the 120 Hz ProMotion display is finally standard on the base model. That is a massive deal for how smooth everything feels. It's running on the powerful A19 chip, has thinner bezels for more screen, and gets a huge camera upgrade with a dual 48-megapixel fusion system. Even the front camera gets center stage. Seriously, this is a huge leap forward for the quote-unquote entry-level iPhone. Okay, now let's talk about the Pro models, the absolute pinnacle of power in the lineup. If you're someone who needs the best of the best, we're talking creators, serious gamers, anyone who pushes their phone to the absolute max, this is where you'll be looking. So here's a quick showdown looking at the whole series side by side. You can really see that good, better, best strategy play out, especially with the chips. You've got the A19 in the standard 17, and then both the Air and Pro models jump up to that more powerful A19 Pro. Now the body materials are pretty interesting. Titanium for the sleek Air, but a switch to aluminum for the Pros, which might seem weird, but there's a good reason for it, and we'll get to that in just a second. It's also worth noting, Apple was a little cagey about the Air's exact camera setup. They really wanted the focus to be on that incredible design.
And this is where the Pro models really earn that name. These exclusive features are all about raw performance. So remember that switch to aluminum? Here's why. They've added an advanced vapor chamber cooling system. This is an absolute game changer for anyone who does intense gaming or edits 4K video on their phone. It basically stops the phone from slowing down when it gets hot. So the aluminum is all about getting that heat out faster. Throw in a crazy 8x optical zoom, a whole new horizontal camera design, and support for ProRes RAW video, and yeah, you're looking at a legit professional tool in your pocket.
Okay, so we've geeked out on the tech, but let's get to the bottom line. The 2 questions everyone always has are, what's the price, and when can I actually get one? Let's get into it.
So let's talk dollars. The iPhone 17 starts things off at a pretty competitive $799. That brand new iPhone Air, it slides right into that classic $999 spot. Then you're stepping up to the Pro for $1,099 and the Pro Max for $1,199. But here's a really important piece of the puzzle. Every single one of these phones now starts with 256 gigs of storage. No more 128. That's a huge value boost across the board. All right, get your calendars out. The announcement already happened on September 9th. Pre-orders kick off on September 15th. And the global launch, when you can actually have one in your hands, is Friday, September 19th. Not too long to wait. And hey, for all of our viewers in India, we've got the local pricing for you too, right from day one.
The iPhone 17 is set to start at 82,900 rupees, and the 17 Pro will be approximately 134,999 rupees. You'll be able to find the whole new lineup at Chroma stores all across India.
Okay, so we've gone through the specs, the new features, the prices. Now for the verdict. Let's figure out which of these new iPhones is the right one for you.
So this is really the million-dollar question, isn't it? Which model is the right one for you? I mean, with 4 really compelling but also really different options, it can definitely feel a little tough. But don't worry, if we break it down by who you are and what you need, the choice gets a whole lot clearer.
Let's make this super simple. Here's your decision guide. If you're all about cutting-edge design, portability, and having a phone that's a real statement piece, you go for the iPhone Air. No question. Now, if you're looking for that sweet spot of balanced performance and great value, the standard iPhone 17 is the one. It's an absolute powerhouse for pretty much everyone. But if your phone is your main camera, your workhorse, and you just need the most power and the best cameras possible, then it has to be the Pro or the Pro Max. Simple as that.
So before we wrap this all up, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. Because what we're seeing isn't just another small yearly update. This feels different. It really signals a whole new era for the iPhone.
There are a few key changes that affect the entire lineup no matter which one you pick. First, that comprehensive design overhaul, it's a fresh new look across the board. Second, as we mentioned, 256 gigs is the new starting point for storage. Finally, no more 128. And of course, they're all launching with a brand new iOS 26, which is going to bring even more cool stuff with Apple Intelligence.
And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. The iPhone Air represents a huge bet by Apple, a bet on design. You know, while a lot of other companies are chasing foldable screens or dedicated AI hardware, Apple seems to be asking something different. They're asking, after years and years of just making phones more and more powerful, is making them impossibly thin and light the next great frontier for smartphones? It's a fascinating thought, and I guess only time will tell.